Hey guys, Brad Kemp from Blue Nile Farm. Welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk about dealing with rust on the farm or even in the city. Doesn't matter where you live. If you live like me in northeastern Ohio, we deal with a lot of rusty conditions, weather conditions that a lot of times guys are leaving their equipment out and things just rust. And this is a chain, it's all stiff and rusty. I want to get it taken care of today, but I've utilized this process on tools and other products. So rusty products, a product that I think is really good to utilize is something called Evapo-Rust. It's basically non-hazardous. It's water-based. It'll work and do a real good job for you. Basically, all you have to do is get a container, pour it in, put your parts in, let it soak for about 24 hours, pull it out, wash off your parts, and you're done. You can paint your parts and oil your parts afterwards so you don't have flash rust. But that's the simplest way that a lot of people use it because they don't have other methods. But I want to kind of show you a couple other quick methods that I utilize to get the most bang out of this product. One is I like to heat it. If it's heated, it actually works a lot more efficiently. And so what I wind up doing is utilize a bucket heater, and I will pour, say, this gallon into this Maxwell house can, and then I would put the bucket heater inside of this. And this bucket heater is good to be around plastic or metal, so it's not going to melt the container. And then quickly, within probably 10 minutes, this thing will be over 100, 120 degrees. So it doesn't take long at all for this product to get hot. Then I'd pour it into a container, and then I would actually soak my part. The downfall is, though, you need about 6 inches of fluid for this bucket heater to work in a container like this. So you're going to have to put several gallons in if that's your objective. What's nice about Evapo-Rust is that you can reuse it. And right now, it's a lime green color, and it's going to turn ultimately to black. And once it gets black and gets sludgy, generally, it's not going to be effective. And you'll start to see it's not as effective as it was originally. But what I really like to do with it is utilize it with my ultrasonic cleaner. And for me, it works out best. So this chain is one thing we're going to utilize. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fold this chain down because it's pretty stiff, as small as I can. And I'm going to try to set it in this Evapo-Rust. And I want to let you guys see what it actually looks like. So here's this chain. I'm going to set it in this Evapo-Rust. I want to show you what it actually looks like inside. So here's the chain, and you can see the color of the Evapo-Rust. And it's heated. So right now I'm going to put in my ultrasonic cleaner, which is already has water in it, and it's already about 140 degrees. And I'm going to set this container inside of there, and then it'll start to work. So let's go take a look. So we're here in my shop. Here's my ultrasonic. It's already on. It's already hot. And it's filled with distilled water. And this is a 30 milliliter container. So there's about 5 gallons of water of distilled water that's actually been heated already. And I use the bucket heater to do that, but I use the temperature of the ultrasonic to maintain the temperature. And the reason why I use the bucket heater is the ultrasonic is so slow to heat up. I can do it 3 to 4 times faster using a bucket heater. So now that we have this hot and set to where we want, because this is in Celsius and I want it about 140 degrees, 60 is the temperature that normally is set in here by Celsius. So 60 is about 140 degrees. So that's kind of where I'm looking at setting this. And I'm going to take this Evapo-Rust that we have, this container, and I'm going to set it right on top of this in this liquid. And it won't be floating as equal, so I'm going to put the lid on it to kind of balance this out. But I want to show you what it actually looks like once this thing starts, because it's already going to start changing right away once we turn on the ultrasonic. And so you can see how quickly it works. So the ultrasonic has actually been turned on. And you'll see that this thing will start to work and cloud up very quickly. Now it's starting to cloud up in here a little bit. And hopefully you guys can see some of that. We'll come back in 10 minutes. I'll show you the difference because it's really huge. All right, it's been about 13 minutes. Let's take a quick look, open up the lid and see what we have. You can see that it's all murky now. And here's a piece of the chain soaking. And I'm going to put it back into balance. But it's actually starting to work. Starting to see a lot of grunge that we didn't have before. So that's only 13 minutes in. The Evapo-Rust, which is nice, is that you can reuse it time and time again until it gets really black or sludgy. And when it gets to that point, normally it's not going to be as effective. And you'll start to notice a difference. But the heat and maintaining heat with the Ultrasonic is like the best combination you can ever have as far as I'm concerned, as far as getting just any product clean and get the best results. So I really endorse the Ultrasonic and the Evapo-Rust working together. It's great. And the bucket heater, by far, is the quickest and fastest way I know to get the temperature up. And that's a big thing because it's probably one of the biggest issues that most people have is, and they don't like to talk about, is the fact is they can't get this stuff hot quick enough. And with that bucket heater, man, I'll tell you what, it just really speeds up the process and you get right to it real quick. So works out good, and I'm pretty happy with it. So after 30 minutes, we removed our Evapo-Rust from the container. This is what it actually looks like. And our chain itself looks a lot different. And you can see some rust deposits on here that still needs to come off, but a lot of it's just grungy stuff that we got to wash out. This is not black enough yet, so we have more use to go. So after submerging in water, I got a brush. I'm just going to give it a quick scrub. You can get rid of some of that loose rust that's on here. It doesn't have to be perfect. So here's our chain so far, 30 minutes in. Pretty happy with it. It's still, like I say, it has more to go. I still see more rust here. But again, we'll put it back into the solution. I'll let it do its thing. Back to the Ultrasonic. And then after this, a couple sessions of the Ultrasonic, since we have the heat and we have the temperature going, that's why I don't mind soaking it longer. Then I'm going to probably bathe it in ATF oil, and they'll sit in there for days. And we'll just keep working these links out as far as this goes. Now, if it's tools or other things, you're probably not going to go this extreme, but that's what I'm going to do for this chain. So after 4 cycles of the Ultrasonic, which is about 2 hours worth of cleaning, let me show you what the liquid looks like and what our chain actually looks like now. You can see how dark and dingy this is now. And here's our chain. A lot cleaner than it was before. And it actually moves a little bit. It's not so stiff. And so we definitely made some impact here. And there's some links that are still stiff, but we're going to take that and we're going to work that with our ATF transmission. So right now I'm just going to wash this off and put it in transmission fluid. So here's the chain that's in the transmission fluid. And you can see how easy the links just actually bend and move. And this chain was so stiff before. So I'm just letting it soak, moving it around. And just can't get enough lube, but it's doing me what I need to do is get these links movable. And then I'll get back on. Here's a link right here that's a little tight that I'll have to work on. But, you know, once you find your trouble areas, you just work through it. But this is basically how I basically go around and do a full cleaning on chains specifically. But this also works, other than the oil bath, with lots of rust issues that you may have with other pieces, whether it's bolts, nuts, tools, you know, antiques, whatever that you're trying to get the rust off of. So here's our chain, and it's looking pretty good. Like I say, it's a little stiff in spots. You can hammer it out with, say, a rubber mallet where you're just actually just bending like you should your chain, and so it'll break the stiffness. And once you break that stiffness, again, you could always put an ATF transmission fluid, or you can put it in there now and then work on the spots that are still stiff. It's just a process going back and forth at this point. You guys, thanks for watching that video on utilizing the Evapo-Rust, the bucket heater, and the Ultrasonic cleaner. You know, when it comes down to removing rust, those are a great combination, those 3 items, to really make a huge impact. It only took me 2 hours to get that chain probably 70% better than what it was going in. And I don't know any other way of really getting to that point. Next thing is lubrication, and that's just another step that we have to do. but it's really a game changer all the way around. And tell you, it's the best way I know to rejuvenate something. Plus, utilizing all this equipment to kind of come together to get a real solid system. So, hopefully, that was beneficial to you guys. I would give it a shot if you guys have the opportunity or you own the equipment. If you don't own an ultrasonic cleaner, if you tinker with equipment, you're going to really enjoy having that. It might not be something you use all the time, but when you do use it, you're going to be glad you have it. So until next time, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon.